Okay. Hello. Good morning, Mr.
Or
Sebastian, and also my student Arjuna and Farjan. I'm
Yes, sir.
really delighted to have this special speaker from UK, from Nottingham University. He is Mr. Sebastian. He is student at Nottingham University and also management, right? He is studying in management, and then we have also special host from IDN boarding school in Pamijahan, sorry, in Jonggol. There are Arjuna and Abidal Farjan. And also, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sebastian Syed Zahari. I'm supervisor in this podcast, and also I'm really delighted and thank you so much, Mr. Sebastian, for accepting this invitation.
of course.
This podcast is to reveal information about diaspora and then culture in overseas, internship, scholarship, and then etc. related with culture and also information in overseas. So this podcast will be led by my students, the Arjuna and Farjan. So, Arjuna and Farjan, thanks you.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for Mr. Septian who has given us the time so we could start this weekend English talk. Before that, let us contemplate our deepest and sincere gratitude to the Almighty God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us mercies and blessings so all of us could gather in this beautiful moment, the weekend English talk, safe and sound. Peace and salutation always be delivered to the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And without further ado, let us start the weekend English talk. But before that, my partner Farzan would like to tell a little bit about the speaker's background, which is Mr. Sebastian.
Okay. All right, sir. Good. Is it morning or afternoon there, sir?
It's still morning here.
Still morning then. And
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we are in the afternoon time.
Okay.
That's why I kind of his name confused how to say good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you, and good morning to me, I guess.
I said. So before we start this WT or weekend English talk, we got your CV from our teacher that literally telling all of your skills, experience, and educations. And then yep, there are also some several questions that we would have to ask you. We would like to ask you about it. So from here, we got the information that you are collegers, a collegers, right? Say a,
Student.
a student from a university from Nottingham, England, UK, aren't
Yes,
you,
correct.
sir?
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So
So,
I am a first year student in the University of Nottingham. I am 19 years old right now, and I came from Bali to here.
you came from Bali, sir? Mashallah.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm originally from Jawa Kediri. Do you know where that is?
Oh, I see.
Kediri. Yeah,
Kediri.
yeah.
Oh, that was my grandma place where
Oh
my
wow,
grandma
that
was born.
That's my hometown.
you guys are in Jawa right now. Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
are
are
Japanese.
Japanese.
We're
Both of us
Japanese.
are Japanese.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm Japanese as well.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, Japanese
Japanese relation.
relation, mashallah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
we
we
back
back
to
to
the
the main
main talk.
talks.
Then
Then
also
also some
okay.
okay, how do I say?
From the CV we got some informations about the speaker's experience that Mr. Sebastian was 180-degree
Nothing.
consulting Nottingham. So you're providing consultation service to nonprofit organizations. Is
Yep.
it isn't it true?
Yeah, so basically 180-degree consulting is one of the biggest consulting society for universities. A lot of university have it. So basically, I joined 180-degree consulting Nottingham, which is based in this university. So basically, we help out nonprofit organization. We give them consulting advices as students, and that's ultimately what we do. We help out nonprofit organization tackle real world problems, giving them solutions comprehensively. So that's what we do. And I've just recently joined it.
That is interesting. That's also related to your bachelor, right?
Yes,
Bachelor of
that's
Management.
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's quite related to management. So by doing management, you can pursue many different types of jobs in the future. It can be in finance, in a consultation, project manager, those kind of stuff. So it might since doing consultation, that might be a route that I might do in the future. That's why I decided to join the society.
Mm, okay. You also joined several volunteer, like the British Heart Foundation. Could you explain what is that?
Of course. So British Heart Foundation, they're basically a non-profit organization. They help out people with heart diseases. They spend the money to fund heart research to save lives and stuff. So basically, I am volunteering at a retail shop in around my area. It's about 20 minutes away, and I help out as a shop floor. So I'm at the cashier processing the payments. I help out with organizing the clothes, managing gift aid. So basically, gift aid is when someone walks into the store and give a donation to the British Heart Foundation, such as clothes, amongst those stuff. So I help process that stuff, and then that stuff we will sell in the store as well. So my role as a volunteer essentially is just help out around the store, such as in the cash register, helping out organizing clothes, and with this, to help out with the British Heart Foundation to raise some money for their cause. So yeah, I'm doing this volunteering since I want to gain retail experience alongside with helping out achieve the British Heart Foundation goals as well, since it's a ethical cause.
Sure.
Oh,
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 that
that
was
was
a
a really,
I
I
say
say,
this
this
is
is
one of
one
the
of the
kind and
kind and
also
also was
it
it
was
was
a
a
very
very
touching
touching
story, isn't
story,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it?
And for the
Yeah.
For the volunteering, it's only once a week. I do it every Tuesday, and I help out for about 3.5 hours every week. Just every Tuesday, I help out in the morning. So I get to the store by 9:30, and I finish by 1 o'clock. Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay,
Okay,
that's
that's
really
really
cool
cool
volunteering
volunteering
experience
experience
that we
that
have
we have
here,
here,
right?
right?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so
so next one is
your
going to your
experience
experience, sir,
that
that
any
any
solve
solve
one of your
one of
experience
your
that
experience that
located at
located at
Istanbul,
Istanbul,
Turkey.
Turkey.
So
So
at this
at this
time, I
time, I
was
was
really
I was
thinking that
thinking that
where
where
uh,
what was it?
what
What
country that
country that
you
you
have
have
been there?
been there?
Like
Like
you ever go to Turkey?
Oh, okay. So now you're asking about the experience in Turkey. Is that correct?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, yeah. So in Turkey, I was doing some supplier sourcing. So I worked under Pete Global Indo Furniture. They make luxury outdoor furniture, and they needed to find a new supplier for Travertine because they were buying from third party distributors back in Indonesia who imported from Turkey. So it was more expensive. So during my holidays in Turkey, I did a lot of research trying to find suppliers for Travertine, which is a natural stone commonly only made in Italy and Turkey. So there I contacted a lot of suppliers through like messages asking for their catalogs, arranging to meetups and stuff. Then I went to their place, to assess their legitimacy, see if they're a legit supplier, if they own quarries. I asked all those type of questions because they had to meet a certain criteria for them to become the supplier for PT Global Indo for since we wanted to buy it directly from the sourcer. And yeah, through talking to a lot of suppliers, maybe more than 10, I ended up discovering one supplier which was best fit. They've been in the game the longest. They had the lowest lead time, and they had the cheapest price overall. So yeah, we decided to use that as the supplier for PT Global Indo.
I
So it was a
see.
mix of holiday and work at the same time.
Uh, in the experience, I found something really interesting, which is you are still now you're still a vice president of the Perkumpulan Pelajar Indonesia Nottingham, right?
Yes,
How
that's
was
correct.
it feel? How's the responsibility to be a vice president there? I guess it's
Yeah,
kind of hard, right?
yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah, PPE. So I'm just gonna explain what PPE first. So PPE is like a student organization. A lot of different places has PPE, not only in England, in Netherlands as well. A lot of different places they have PPE. So it's mainly a student organization in Indonesia. It helps you connect with all the different Indonesian students. So if you guys were studying abroad, joining PPE will be a really good opportunity as you guys will be able to meet your community in a place where you don't see much of them, and be able to hang out, work together to help out with internal, external, those kind of stuff. But yeah, being PPE as a vice president, my main responsibility is I'm the treasurer. I manage the money for the events, so I facilitate the payment and I receive payments. That's what I do. Other than that, I also help out my friends, my friends and colleagues during events, such as recently we had NTU Global Week, which is in the other university in Nottingham, Trent. We help out around the stand, representing Indonesia, showing our culture, bringing our food. So yeah, a lot of foreigners they tried our food, such as like klepon, and
Oh,
martabak. Yeah, yeah, and they really liked it. They really respected our food. They really enjoyed it. They said it was like one of the best food. And we also taught them about our culture too. Taught them some games. Showed us our batik, our kain, and our puppets, all those type of
oh,
stuff. And talking to people from outside, as an Indonesian representing our country, it's a surreal experience. So, yeah, PPE is a great opportunity to represent your country whilst working with people from your country, being able to connect, and yeah, with people that is like similar to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then
So,
yeah,
during that PPE Nottingham being the vice president, you got lots of relations. Is it only from England or there are from other countries outside of England, like another um another person from another country trying to study in England as well? Yeah,
oh, like for internationals, is that what you're talking about?
yeah, yeah. For internationals.
Right. Yeah. So for internationals, Indonesian is quite a small population. I believe in Nottingham, there's only about, if I had to guess, I think there's only about maybe 25 Indonesians or 30, around
Oh,
25 to 30.
that was
Most
good.
of the internationals, they're either Chinese, like from China, or they're
Mm-hmm.
from India, or they're from Saudi. I think most of the internationals, they're from that area usually. So there's not much Indonesian population. So joining PPE and also Indosok. Indosok is an Indonesian society which is also in Nottingham. So joining PPE Indonesia Society, that's where you get to meet your fellow Indonesians.
Oh, I see. So, well, let us start the main conversation before we have just get to know about Mr. Sebastian. He's a really wonderful person with lots of experience that are surreal. And now let us ask some more experience about. First of all, that I'm curious,
Yep.
what was the biggest culture shock?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a very great question,
Yes,
Arjuna. Yeah.
yeah,
So
culture shock is something really related if you really want to go outside of Indonesia to do
yeah,
studies, right?
100%. The biggest culture shock is this is probably the biggest one. Like coming to England, the people weren't as nice as Indonesian. Like they
Oh,
weren't as well mannered. They were a bit more rude. In Indonesia, everywhere you go, people just smile. They talk to you so friendly. They care about you as how you are. But here in UK, I feel like the people they're a bit more, let's say, not as friendly. Because I mean, it makes sense. The weather here is not the best. You know how many people complain about the English weather? It's very gloomy, always raining, all that stuff. So I guess people are not as happy as Indonesian people. We have a nice warm weather there, and people are very welcoming. So one of the biggest culture shock here, essentially, is the people. That's the first one. Like they're very different in comparison to the Indonesian one. They're a bit, in my opinion, they're a bit more rude. Less kind, less welcoming, something like that. Another culture shock, I guess, is the food. Indonesian food gotta be one of the best food. We have padang, we got rendang, we got tempeh. Like, come on, we got the best chowder.
absolutely agree
Yeah, yeah.
with that.
We got bakso, we got satay. Yeah, and here, the food is quite bland. Usually, back in Bali, I was eating nasi every day. I was eating rice. Now I'm just eating potatoes and some bland chicken. The food here is not the best. So that's quite a big culture shock. You know what I mean? The food and the people. And
Oh,
yeah, and other than that, the weather as well is not the best. It rains constantly, like out of nowhere. It just comes down raining. So yeah, the weather is not that great as well. It's always dark as well. At a time, sometimes the sun goes down at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. So it gets really dark at 3 or 4 p.m. While in Indonesia, it's still like really bright. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
guess yeah, that's the culture shock I've experienced here.
So have you experienced snow?
Oh, that's a great question. I have experienced snow. Yeah, yeah. Like, if you look at snow at nighttime in the light, you just see the snow falling. It's quite nice to see. It's really nice to see. And yeah, snow. First time you see snow, it's a really good experience. You can throw snowballs. Those type of stuff. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um. So from your first day in England, how did you survive? Because it is it is a really it is really different from Indonesia, right? From the foods. So and
Stuff.
the people out there, they are like, how do they like judge us Indonesians out there in UK?
Right. So in UK, they don't really judge us people, but the thing is they're quite rude. They're not as how do you say? They're not as helpful as Indonesian people. They're not as cheerful. They're just a bit they're less inclined like on helping other people, or like they don't really care as much, if that makes sense. But they don't judge. They're just
Right.
they're not like negative to us. They just
Focus on their
it's
own.
just different from Indonesian people, if that makes sense.
And why did you choose the University of Nottingham for your studies? Is
Yeah, that's
it
a that's a really great question, Arjuna. So yeah, basically I chose the University of Nottingham because my dad he has a lot of family here in UK, in
oh,
Chesterfield and Derby. Yeah, yeah. So they're only a 20 minutes train ride from each other. So I chose University of Nottingham so I can be quite nearby to my family. I'm only 20 minutes train ride for them. Yeah, that's why my dad specifically wanted me to go University of Nottingham.
oh, that's why.
Yeah.
So you are half UK, half Indonesian, or are you fully Indonesian?
Yeah, so basically my mom's from Jakarta, so she's Jawa.
Oh,
And my dad's British Pakistani, so he's fully Pakistani by blood, but he was born and raised here, so he has a British nationality, if that makes sense.
Oh.
okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
that's
Sorry,
sorry,
bro.
sir.
no worries.
Sorry,
This
continue, continue.
So yeah, since you got the what's the name? You got accepted as a student in the University of Nottingham. So there's some question that I'd like to ask since before that you are speaking with English fluently. I was wondering how could you speak English fluently, sir? That's one of the things that I was wondering before.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I speak English quite fluently because I started really early since a young age. I always watch English YouTube videos, those kind of stuff. Not really learning English, like just normal YouTubers, American YouTubers, like playing games and stuff. They always spoke English, and from there I kept copying them. You know what I mean? Like, do you know Dan TDM? Those Minecraft YouTubers,
Oh yeah,
some.
I know that.
Oh, you know Dan
Yeah, that's
TDM, yeah.
one of,
I feel like I
one of the
learned quite a
memorable
lot of
gamers that
English.
I ever known.
Oh yeah, bro, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, Dan TDM's a really great YouTuber. And when I was a young age, I also went to EF. I don't know if you guys know that English first. It's quite big in
Oh,
Indonesia. You went, yeah?
I went to EF too.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I feel like EF is quite helpful. And other than that, do you guys know Kumon? You know how Kumon is mainly math,
oh
but they
yeah,
also
that
have an English
yeah,
part.
you know, come on.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So basically, from a young age, I've a lot of YouTube videos while taking lessons from Kumon, EF, those type of stuff. So that's how I got my English to improve. And back in Bali, my school, it's an international school, so it's mainly English speaking. A lot of foreigners
Oh yeah,
there, people from outside Indonesia. So our main language was English. So that's how my English is quite decent.
I forgot that you are actually our Bali people. That's why you can speak English fluently.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I feel like being good at English, just if you watch YouTube videos and see how they talk, it's actually really helpful. I don't know. Do you guys agree with that?
I see, I see. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's maybe one of the acceptable reason, right? How that's why people can speak English fluently.
Yes,
Yeah,
With
I guess
EF
so.
is the best, and EF is the best.
so yeah, there's also some question that I'd like to ask
Of
about
course.
the how do you build friendship across cultures since you are actually in Nottingham with a lot of international students that comes there. How do you build friendships across cultures?
Yeah, that's a very great question. So a lot of my friends here, they're very diverse. A lot of them are English people, some are international. The way we can connect with different cultures is that if we respect each other culture, if we're interested in each other culture. So if they're interested in the Indonesian, they ask a lot of questions, and I ask a lot of questions about their culture too. And from there, we just connect by showing mutual respect. And yeah, that way we get along, respect each other, and be able to vibe with each other. So I guess that's a way how we can foster friendships around here, by respecting each other, being tolerable, and yeah, those stuff.
Oh, I see, I see. So with respecting and also have some careers with the with people cultures, we can get their interest and also can get connect with them, right?
100%, 100%. You just gotta be
100%.
interested in your culture, ask about it, and they'll return the favor as well, because they see the
Mm.
respect. It's a mutual respect. They'll give their respect
Oh,
back as well.
I see, I see.
Yes,
So that's why
100%.
we should have a friend with this.
I'm so grateful to talk with someone with lots of relations.
Thank
It
you,
is
thank you.
a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Arjun. That's
Okay,
great.
so we're gonna continue. What is the biggest challenge you've faced so far as an Indonesian in Europe country, the UK? UK is Europe,
Yeah,
right? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Europe, Europe.
yeah, in the Europe, I believe. Yeah, so the biggest challenge, I guess, was my first week when I was in UK. Leaving the when I came to UK, my family dropped me off. But like even in the airport, leaving the family behind, that's the hardest part, because you know that you're not gonna see them anytime soon. You'll be gone for a while to pursue your studies. So essentially, the hardest part for me was the first week of uni, with all the family behind, all the friends behind back in Bali. That was really emotional. I don't usually cry, but at that time I was crying a bit, because it's a big leap. I'm going to a different country with new where I don't know any people, fresh start. The first week is really hard, but once you come here and start making friends in UK, people you like, it gets better. like it just goes away. You start like you still miss your family, but you don't miss them as much as initially, where you just like call. So yeah, my biggest challenge it's got to be with my family away. Another challenge I'd say is definitely the weather. You know, coming here from Bali, you know, Bali is a really hot place. You know, really like really hot
Yeah.
sun and stuff. Like here, it's
Yeah.
really cold because I don't really know how to suit up first. Like you know, like sometimes I'm just outside and the wind gets really strong and I'm just freezing. You know, like it's really crazy. So that's another challenge. So you guys gotta like know how to layer your clothes, make sure you're like kept warm because in this weather your skin can get really dry easily, so you gotta like close everything like pretty good. but um
Mm.
but right now it's not too cold as it was during December. It was really cold that time, so yeah, you gotta prepare for that. And another challenge is, I guess, figuring out the transportation as well, I'd say.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But once you get used to it, it's easy. So there's transportation. I'd suggest you like if you want to use the train or you want to use the tram or bus, I suggest you to get the application on your phone. Like you download the application on your phone. Like you can just search it up, it'll be there. Because if you buy it directly from the terminal or the station, it might be like 2 times more expensive, those kind of stuff.
Oh.
So yeah, if you get the app, you know, you just buy it straight from here. You know, verify yourself, show your student ID, you know, KTP, those kind of like national identity, and just in that way it'll be much cheaper. And as for transportation and stuff, I feel like it's really easy. You know, you just gotta use Google Map. It'll show you. It'll give you guidance, and also from the app you can find out where's the nearest bus routes. And yeah, so it's transportation essentially is not that hard. You just gotta know how to do it. You know, make sure you download the app and don't buy it directly from the station or stuff. Makes it much cheaper. But for transportation, I don't think you guys have to worry too much. You guys will get used to it quite easily.
Okay. So you said that the first week was the hardest time, right?
Yes.
And can you tell us some stories, some experience on your first week, and maybe some funny stories, or maybe how you
hilarious.
encountered those kind of difficult days?
Yeah. So in my first week, when my parents left, I was just in my bed. I couldn't really sleep that night. The first night I slept here, I couldn't really sleep. You know, it was a really hard experience. You know, I came from a big family and coming here, you know, just all alone in my bed. Yeah, the first week was quite hard because when I just came here, I didn't really have any friends yet in the uni. No, I was a bit lonely. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, it was quite a sad experience, but I overcame it through like I was texting one of my friend who's been to uni a year before, and you know
Oh,
she kind of told me a bit about it, and she told me everything was gonna be all right at the end. So I think she gave me quite the motivation to, you know, stay strong and stuff. But yeah, at the end everything will work out. You just gotta trust the process. You'll end up making friends. You know, it'll all just be natural. You know, just like how life is, it'll just naturally just come together. You know, like inshallah. But yeah, a funny experience. Let me try to think of one. A funny experience.
Make us laugh.
Okay, I got you. A funny experience. That's a really great question. Like, wait, a funny experience like in the first week of uni or like in general?
In your first week in UK, or maybe yeah, you could try
uh,
a fun experience in your first week on your
maybe
campus,
since
Nottingham.
already since he was there.
Yeah, since you're in UK,
Yeah, I
what
mean,
a fun
yeah.
experience.
Oh, okay. A funny experience is just I've seen a lot of quite funny experience here in Nottingham, but some of it's it can't really be disclosed. But if you go to the city, right? There's in the city like Nottingham, there's quite a lot of people using, you know, drugs and stuff, so it's quite
Oh,
bad. But a
Mm,
lot
is
of them they act a bit crazy in, you know, in the city. Like once there was a oh, let me tell you this. Once there was this homeless person, right?
homeless.
yeah.
Yeah, so this homeless person asked this girl for like money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This girl was black British, right? She was like black British, and then like
Mm,
she said no, right?
Yeah.
And then that homeless person called her the N-word, right? To the girl. Bro, and then the girl kicked the homeless guy to the street. Like she kicked him and like started beating him up.
That's
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I don't know
so
who
in
decided
Nottingham
to
you
do
gotta
that.
watch out. There's a lot of not just in Nottingham, in many big cities in UK, there's a lot of crazy people. But you guys should be all right. But that's one of the funny experience I saw, like seeing the homeless guy get beat up because he said that word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he deserved.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, that's actually quite funny.
That's not a funny. That's a really funny thing. So.
Well, is British humor hard to understand?
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's quite hard to understand. Like sometimes they say it, but I can't really process it. Other like someone says a British humor, they say a joke, everyone laughs, but I don't laugh because I don't really understand it. Then I have to like ask, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of yeah, it's quite hard to understand sometimes, but because there's some words I don't know as well. Some British slangs, those kind of stuff.
Oh.
The way British say things are like fast, you know. The way I usually watch YouTube, watching like English videos, right? And I found like some videos of British people talking, and the way they say a sentence or maybe say something what they want from their mouth, it is like I cannot describe it. It's they're saying too fast, like plus their accents are unique.
You can even hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So it is hard, I guess, to understand British humor. But yeah, I hope if I go to British, I could easily understand those humors.
Hopefully. If not, it's fine though.
So, Farzan, you'd like to ask some questions?
Yeah. There's some of the question that I'd like to ask. Yeah, since before we were just laughing. Wait.
It's so funny.
Since before we were just laughing before. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry,
sir.
sir.
So,
The question that I asked, wait a minute. I still cannot get out from the joke setting you said before.
Oh my god.
alright.
Sorry, 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 sorry.
Yeah,
All
I
good,
know.
all good, all good.
Oh my
Alright.
So this is the question. So, how does the learning environment at Nottingham differ from Indonesia?
I'm sorry.
So, wait.
So, how does learning environment at Nottingham differ from Indonesia?
Right. Okay. So how does the learning environment in Nottingham differ to Indonesia? Yeah. So in terms of
Different.
university wise or study in general, would you say?
In maybe you could tell us both.
Yeah. So university wise, what I noticed is like university in Indonesia, it's I'd say it's kind of the like hours wise, it's kind of the same as high school if I'm not wrong. Maybe lectures are like 7 hours a day. Is that correct? Or you guys don't know?
Yeah, I guess we don't know.
You don't
Yeah.
know.
But I feel like here in Nottingham, UK in general, and compared to Indonesia, we have less lectures, if you know what I mean. Like for example, Indonesia could be like maybe 6 or 7 hours a day, same as high school time around that. But here in Nottingham or UK in general, our lectures is only like 3 to 4 hours. It's a bit less. So because of that, we have more time for self study, amongst other things. And here compared to Indonesia, obviously, they teach in English, so you need to have quite a good understanding of English. Like there's a lot of Chinese international students here. Their IELTS score wasn't like the highest. They only got like 5. And five is not, I feel like is not that proficient enough to really understand. So usually in lectures they have their iPad out and they do a voice translator and they do like AI to like translate it back to Chinese to understand. So yeah, that's quite. So I feel like if you want to study abroad, if your English is not too proficient, maybe you need to use those kind of translator and stuff. But like, I feel like that makes it much harder. But I feel like as long as your IELTS score is above like 6.5, you should be able to understand. So I guess mainly the difference is here there's less hours on lecture. There's There's some workshops as well, some seminars, which I feel like it's quite similar to Indonesian university in that aspect. But the only difference is just less hours, I'd say.
And what skills matter most for global students to study in Nottingham University or maybe other universities in the UK?
Right. Yeah. So a good skill to have, I guess, is first should be English proficiency, like being able to communicate well in English with other people, talking to other people in English and stuff. Like another one, I would say is time management. Time management is a very important skill too, because you want to be able to manage your time, from studying and other activities, social activities and extracurriculars that you'd like to do in the uni as well. So time management is really important. I say communication is also important, being able to talk with diverse people, in a proficient manners. And another good skill I'd say for Indonesian people is that's a really great question. Let me think of this true. Another good skill, yeah. Yeah, I think essentially the only ones I can think of right now is just time management, communication, and just English speaking skills. I'd say those three are the most important in my opinion.
You wanna ask something?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's the thing I was scared of,
Oh
bro.
my god, sorry. I didn't prepare that. I thought you told me to mute.
No, no. Okay, okay. I'm sorry, sir, from the mic
No
error
worries.
since before. So yeah, there's also, I mean, there's also a question that I want to ask.
Yeah.
This one. How do you maintain your Indonesian identity while adapting to the British style? Like, what makes you comfortable with Indonesian as your identity?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
how I maintain my identity is yeah, like when people ask where I'm from and stuff, I say Indonesia, Bali. And I feel like a lot of people they like Bali. So from there, I talk
oh,
about my culture and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm from Indonesia, we got one
nice.
this population, those kind of stuff. The way I maintain identity is by spreading what I am, my blood, my Indonesian blood, showing who I am, a fellow Indonesian who came here to
Mm,
study. And
I
yeah,
see.
I always another thing is I always join PPE events, Indo soccer events, meeting people with the same culture as me, connecting with them. So Indo soccer, if you guys don't know, it's like Indonesia Society in university. I'm not part of the committee, but they run a lot of events, and usually a lot of Indonesian people go. People from outside Indonesia can join the events as well. But yeah, it's a good opportunity to see other Indonesian people. So essentially, how I maintain my identity is from spreading what I am as an Indonesian fellow and joining PPE and Indo soccer events and organizing PPE event, those kind of stuff.
Okay, so that's good because
Thank you.
we we must be proud to be Indonesian.
Of course, 100%.
And could you give us tips since before you told us that time management is a really needed skill for global students, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And could you give us like tips to time manage because we need it.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for time management, what I would do is in university there's a lot of courseworks, exam deadlines, those type of stuff. So at the start of the semester, what I would do is I would list everything in a paper. I'll put the tasks I need to do. I'll put the due dates, and from there I could like there's a structure. I could allocate my study time, and I'd say I like to be quite efficient. So when I have a work, I try to get it done as soon as possible. I do the most important task first, then I can do everything else later. So that's what I do. And I also use a productivity website. It's called Notion. It's a so basically you don't need to use Notion, but there's a lot of things. It's basically I have a to-do list. I put the urgency where when this needs to be done, and then like once the due date and stuff. So before an exam, I would have to revise like a while earlier, it doesn't got to be long as you study 1 or 2 hours a day, as long as you're consistent from a long time period, you should be all right. Then the closer I get to the exam period, or the when the coursework's about to be like due, I'll allocate more time to it. Maybe 4 hours a day, those type of stuff. But yeah, essentially, time management is basically what I think of it is like you need to get your priority tasks as done as soon as possible, and from there you can do other activities like social activities, extracurricular activities. Gives you time for that. So, and in that case, like it lowers your stress level. You don't need to like do it last minute. One day before the due date. So I believe as long as you have a to-do list, as long as you're consistent, starting out much earlier for a project, you don't delay it later. You don't like just use Instagram, doom scroll too long. Like you gotta do your task, like try to get it done early, but you don't gotta stress yourself. Don't like allocate too much time immediately. Just start slow and build up, and as long as you finish it, long before the due date. Yeah, just I guess that's my tip for you guys. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Don't worry about the
another one.
Okay, so
Sorry, sorry.
yeah,
Again.
sorry for the music.
No
Okay,
worries. No.
so yeah, that's one of the quiet.
That's a really helpful
Yeah,
tips
like
Thank you.
really
because
helpful tips.
we are really interested. I guess we're interested to try study abroad, and we're interested to study abroad. And thank you for the tips, the time management, all of your experience. It is really valuable. And any recommendations for universities in the UK? Because I guess UK is a really interesting country because
Like
there is no this is snow in the you remember. I like snow.
yeah,
What
both
about
of us
you?
like them.
So
So
like
like
the
the
thing
thing
that
that
we
we
want
want
to
to
ask
ask
is
is
about
about
how
how
how do
do
we
we
get
get
the
the
scholarship,
like
yeah,
scholarship
scholarship from
from
the
the
UK
UK
university,
university,
any
any
other,
other, I mean,
any
any
university
university
in
in
UK,
UK,
like
like one of the university in UK, maybe
one
one
of
of, I
it,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
one
one
of the
of the
university,
university,
like
like
all
all
of
of
the
the
university,
university,
how
how
to
to
get
get
into
into
UK
UK
university.
university.
Okay, so let me summarize it. You guys' question was how to get scholarships to UK university. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And recommendation for the universities.
Oh, recommendation as well. So I'll start with the recommendation first. I mean, ultimately, I feel like any university is like all right, it's good. But my recommendation is probably if you want the prestigious university, I guess the Russell Group University, University of Nottingham is including. Do you guys know what Russell Group is?
Russell Group.
So group, Universal Groups University.
Yeah. So basically,
Um,
Yeah,
it's
basically
supposed.
Russell Group is like the most university with the highest research. Is the most like is the most prestigious, and I guess like when employer sees you're from a Russell Group, it improves your employability chance and those stuff. So Russell Group essentially just means like one of the top unis in UK.
Oh, so like is one of the, you can say it,
The S tiers.
yeah, like the group that looking for, I mean, that providing the scholars, like the isn't it providing the recommendation university, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. So like that's
Oh,
yeah. So
yes,
like
yes.
Russell Group's uni is like the top uni. Like for Indonesia, like I'd say Russell Group is like ITB, UI, like those kind of stuff. If that makes sense.
Oh, I see, I see, I
The
see.
popular but also
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
I
so I'll
see, I
talk
see.
about scholarship. So as for scholarship, I believe for undergraduate, they don't really give out much scholarship. Undergraduate means S1. They don't really give out much scholarship for that. But if you apply for masters and stuff like S2, they give a lot of scholarships. A lot of the people from PPE, they get scholarships. Did you guys interview Mas Bayu by any chance? Do you know Mas Bayu?
Mas Bayu. Oh,
Sri
wait, wait.
Agus Prianto?
Oh, never mind. We don't.
I guess we didn't get the chance to talk to him
Yeah.
because
Oh,
each
okay.
week we change speakers.
Oh, fair, fair. Yeah. So yeah, scholarship is mainly in UK. It's mainly for masters. So when you do masters, so after you're done with like doing your undergraduate S1 somewhere, you can apply. I feel like you apply from, wait, let me check the thing. I believe it's called, is it LPDP? If I'm not wrong. Hold on. LP. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me search up where to apply it from. Yeah, sorry, I can't find the name, but I think it's called, if I'm not wrong, it's called LPDP. So basically, they help you out with getting masters in basically they help you out like fund your education for getting masters in UK. However, they don't do for undergraduate, if that makes sense. So it's only for S2 and S3, so masters and doctorate. That's what they help out for.
So LPP is like an association or an association that provides scholarships.
Yes, that's correct. LPDP is like yeah. So you need to like, I think you need to apply for it. Make a personal statement, those type of stuff, and then they'll help you like they'll fund for your UK, they'll fund for your school, I believe, and your accommodation as well. So it's quite good. But I feel like a lot of the scholarship is linked to the work. Like for instance, I know this woman. She got a scholarship for to study in University of Nottingham too for doctorate or masters. One of them I forgot, and it was through her work. So like I think she was sponsored by her work as well. Like you could either get sponsored from LPDP, I believe, which is the organization that gives scholarship, to students, or through your work as well, like Mas Bayu, for example, through Garuda, if I'm not wrong, and this other from the government. Like your work could also sponsor you to come to UK, if that makes sense. But there's like a contract; you got to go back and work for them as well.
Okay, so I guess since it's Ramadan, we are all fasting, right? And yeah, in here it's almost near to break our fast. So maybe that's all for today's weekend English talk about stories of diaspora from the University of Nottingham. And thank you very much, Mr. Sebastian, for
Yeah,
that
thank you, Abdullah.
specific
Thank you, Abdullah.
your experience and some humors, the stories, everything is
Everything.
amazing. Maybe we could connect and
Yeah, of course. Yeah, connect what Instagram
or LinkedIn.
oh
Both.
LinkedIn. Yeah, of course. I'll send my Instagram and LinkedIn.
It is
Hold
a
on.
really amazing opportunity.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just send me a DM and I'll be happy to help out. And I'll let you know what that organization is called. I forgot the name.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my Instagram, and for my LinkedIn, that is my LinkedIn. I think if you just search my name, you'll find my LinkedIn. It'll say student at University of Nottingham.
Okay. So yes, I think that's all for today week and English talk. Now we're any words left for the week? Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, oh my god, sorry for that. Since the first we did. Okay. Okay, so yeah, maybe. I'm sorry, sir. So maybe only those things that we can ask for you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful and also
Thank you.
beautiful experience that
Thank you.
could share for us.
Of course.
Yeah, that's actually also a heart touching moment, right?
Yes. So we're going to give the time back to Mr. Septian. You both have the same name.
It's similar, isn't it? Tian, yeah.
It's okay.
That's what
Really
they
amazing.
Mr. Septian, Mr. Sebastian, yeah, that's it.
Okay,
It's
for
really
Mr.
amazing.
Septian, the time
Thank
is
you so much,
yours.
Mr. Sebastian, for your
Of
effort
course.
and knowledge, etc. And then, of course, we have invited Mr. Bayo. he was a speaker for this program perhaps last year, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, nice.
And yes, last year I invited him. Uh, it's a really great conversation. Thank you so much, Mr. Sebastian, and
Of
also
course.
we really do acknowledge for your time. Uh, Unfortunately, the time is not really enough, but we have still many is that questions to reveal actually. And of course, I'm really sorry if there is mistake from me or from my students. Thank you so much, Mr. Sebastian, for your time and also
Of course.
this opportunity. See you next time, Mr.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
See you next time.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much. Take care.
Thank you so much,
So
Arjuna, Farja.